Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch a Movie. I am Mike. Thanks for taking a moment of your day to spend it with me today. And what we're talking about today, as the release of Megan is this week. I'm not exactly sure what day this video will come out, but Megan's getting ready to come out. Gonna see it today, and it got me thinking, why do they call it Mithrigan? Also, it got me thinking, why do January horror movie releases suck so much ass most of the time? Now, Megan's getting a 94% on positive on Rotten Tomatoes right now, so that's not necessarily true. So I went and did a deep dive, and I was like, let me just find the golden nuggets of horror in January. I found a theme that goes between these movies, and a lot of the movies on this list are movies that I feel like studios, even the good ones, have this twinge to them that I feel like studios were like, people aren't going to like that. It's going to suck. Underestimating people's panache for stuff that's a little bit strange, a little bit weird. But even the good ones, even the best ones, I understand why some old dude at a studio wearing a suit's like, I will not present that to my children at the table of Thanksgiving in your honor's presence of the Lord. And again, this seems like a newish thing, so I only went back to 1990. When you go beyond 1990, you can find even a bunch more cool ones, I guarantee it. So these are in no particular order, but 2008 brought us Cloverfield. Cloverfield, I thought, was a rad movie. It's one of my favorite monster creature feature movies of all time. It was found footage, but man, did that freaking marketing get the people going. They didn't even tell you what it was for the longest time. It's the old J.J. Abrams mystery box. You just saw the Statue of Liberty's head rolling down the fucking street, and then next thing you know, closer to the release, you figure out, oh my god, it's a monster movie. And then even halfway through the movie, they barely show you the monster. It's exactly how I would feel like it would look if you were in the streets watching that. You just see a tail or a claw hit a fucking bridge, and eventually they give you the money shot. Depending on what theater you go to, but also in the movie, they give you the money shot when they actually show the full-on creature. But yeah, that thing was dropping off fucking little spider monsters. It was awesome. I love that movie so much. I thought it was rad as shit. So Cloverfield's one. Split ranks a 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb. M. Night Shyamalan's surprise sequel to Unbreakable, that came out as a January release as well. And I think this was one of the most accepted ones, like across the board. I'm surprised it actually released in January. But yeah, Split fucking ruled by a lot of accounts. An amazing Oscar-worthy performance from James McAvoy playing like 26 different people, and that twist ending was just like awesome. My favorite thing about the twist ending in this M. Night Shyamalan film, and I'm sure he's done it before, is the music. When they're in that restaurant and you're about to see Bruce Willis or whatever, and that like, dis-moi, weird fucking fucking like 90s, straight up 90s porn music pops on.
Rumors coming out of the scene are almost unbelievable. There are conflicting stories if the suspect is alive or dead.
Split ruled. A lot of people liked it. I think I liked Split less than most people did at the end of the year, but still, it was a good movie. Mama was surprisingly, a PG-13 movie coming out in January. Gothic as shit. They had Jessica Chastain in this thing. It does have a lot of the tropes of like the schlocky, like Friday night, let's just slap it out there in January. It's going to be a piece of shit, but the teenagers might like it for 8 seconds, or an old lady might be scared by it type of horror movie that they would throw out in January. But Mama had some fucking nuts to her. That sentence did not check out. 2007 brought us the remake of The Hitcher, which, I mean, this area, the mid-2000s were killing it with these remakes, man. Whether it was Platinum Dunes or somebody else, you had the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you had High Tension, which is a remake, you had the Amityville Horror remake wasn't that bad at all. I still liked it, the one with Ryan Reynolds. You had several really good horror remakes around this time, and they were all the ones that would come out and then release on DVD with the unrated version you couldn't get in theaters. Hills Have Eyes. That was a weird time to be alive, to be a horror fan. It was fun. Hitcher was another one right there with you, man. Right there with the other ones. From the producers, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake and the Amityville Horror remake. Sean Bean is playing the titular character. Titties. Just not a perfect movie by any means. I feel like hardcore fans of The Hitcher, I don't know how they feel about it, because I saw this before I saw that, but I know that there's just some badass moments in this movie, including a straight up 9 Inch Nails music video of badassery happening in the middle of it. Leprechaun came out in January. Now, this one's back in 1993, probably before they were more known for throwing shitty horror movies out there, but wanted to include it anyway. It's not a great movie, but Jay and I just did a Patreon comment for this on our Patreon as our monthly commentary that we do, and honestly started the first 20 minutes going, yeah, this is gonna suck, I haven't watched it in a while, and ended up just having the time of our lives, laughing our dicks off. That little guy just running around, and the way he like pops up in corners and like scoots by on a skateboard, Warwick Davis killing it. and also one of Jennifer Aniston's first roles. Not amazing as a horror movie, but he does look like a little angry Skip Bayless on crack, which I'm pretty sure Skip Bayless is on crack if you read his Twitter. But either way, there's a couple scary moments, some good gore moments, but mostly just a fun fucking ride of a movie, and it started a huge franchise. Oh my god, I just popped coffee on my face. A more recent one, 2020, Underwater, kind of fucking ruled too, man. A short, breezy hour and 35-minute alien ripoff movie, sure, but starring Kirsten Stewart, and also starring, by the way, the comedic relief in this was also the comedic relief from Cloverfield, TJ Hooker, or whatever the hell his name is. Guy who's sort of a douchebag in real life, apparently. TJ Miller, that was it. TJ Hooker, all right. You got a date with her at the municipal court system. What movie is that from? Comment down below. But no, Underwater's pretty cool, man. It's quick, it's breezy, it starts with a bang. I mean, that opening scene, she's just brushing her teeth or some shit, looking like the real Slim Shady, and then all of a sudden the ship just goes out of whack. And then the ending scene, when you start to see the monster pop up, a lot like Cloverfield as well, just really dope. There's some Mothra under the sea type stuff going on, and just a cool monster movie, man. I dug Underwater. Is it perfect? No, but none of these movies are. I didn't say top 20 perfect movies in January. I said 20 cool movies in January. Eat a dick, Greg. But speaking of things being eaten, Tremors came out in January. Another 1990 classic, PG-13. Again, some of these movies I'm shocked were PG-13. But yeah, Tremors. Classic monster movie, classic horror movie, classic comedy. Kevin Bacon, Fred Ward, man, a great monster comedy, buddy comedy, fucking just, if you haven't seen Tremors, Christ, man, you've got to get on that shit. Here's one I absolutely adore, 2004's The Butterfly Effect. I know, Ashton Kutcher, you don't really think about horror when you tie in Ashton Kutcher to, you barely think about acting when you think about Ashton Kutcher. Punked ruled, dude. That show was awesome. And also, by all accounts, he's a really good person. But anyway, no, Butterfly Effect. My friends brought me over to watch this one day on DVD. Didn't even bother to hear about it. I'm pretty sure it tanked at the box office. And I was blown away. This movie has such cool ideas. Now, it's like a time travel, it's dark as shit, man. Basically, this is what happens when time travel meets absolute real life brass bones horror. And I'm not talking about like crazy spaceship shit. I'm talking about he goes back in time. He has the ability to go back in time. And every time he does, he tries to change his shitty life. And every time he does, he just fucks up everybody's lives around him. And this touches on so many dark things. It talks about child abuse, there's murder, there's all sorts of it is a dark ass movie to watch, and it's depressing as shit, but man, do they have some cool fucking ideas. I feel like a lot of people haven't checked out Butterfly Effect. You should totally check it out. Yes, I was going to include Scream on this list the entire time. It came out in January. What the fuck do you want? You know I love it. I'm surprised more people weren't like, oh my god, they picked January, it's gonna suck balls. Maybe they were, I just forgot about it. But the next one comes out in March, so maybe it's supposed to be even better.
What's my name?
The motherfucking Mothman Prophecies. Another PG-13 horror banger on the list. Now, for some people, they won't call it a banger. This movie creeps me the shit out, man. We hung out with Eric from Pretty Much It and watched and did a commentary for this because we are all in agreement that is this movie perfect? Hell no. Is it scary as shit depending on who you are? Hell yes. I saw this at a drive-in at like midnight for the first time. Didn't know shit about the Mothman. Ended up Googling it and finding out the history about how like you can see the Mothman's face and like the smoke on like the 9/11 towers and all this crazy shit like that. Do I believe in that? No. But at the moment after you watch the movie, when you're Googling it, it's pretty fucking cool to look at and look up. And I do, who knows, man? Maybe some of this shit does happen to some of these people in these West Virginia towns where nobody's fucking watching. Part of the reason I'm so afraid of aliens. Anyways, chapstick. The cast in this, Richard Gere, Laura Linney, motherfucking Will Patton. Amazing cast, dark, cool-ass vibes in this movie. And if you've ever driven across a bridge and your butthole got tight because you thought about what would happen if it went down right now, you will experience that with the Mothman Prophecies. Totally got to check it out. Just remember, this is more of a thriller, kind of slow burn than it is pure horror. But goddamn, does it make me want to shit my pants. And to me, nothing says horror films like poopy in your diapers. Now we go to the ooey gooeys a little bit. 1986, unrated, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Now, I just said that I only went back to 1990, so I don't know how this one snuck in there, but it's on the list now, Greg, and we're riding with it. That's weird. Like, I thought this one was like a straight to HBO weird one, and maybe it was. Maybe this was like a video nasty or something, but now that we're here and talking about it, we might as well talk about Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, which is listed as the January release, however it came out. Michael Rooker, if true crime came up with smell-o-vision and you had to go in and like VR live in that shitty, dingy apartment where the dude probably just wipes poop on the walls and has stale bologna all over the counter, that is what Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer would be. It makes you hang out with his friends. It makes you live his life. It makes you drive around looking for your next kill. It's just gross, and it's not a good time, but it is a good serial killer movie. 1990, back on track now, Brain Dead. Here's a movie that I feel like a lot of people haven't seen because I didn't know anything about it, but it stars Bill Pullman and Bill Paxton together in the same film, which is really all you need to know. But it involves this crazy scientist shit. You can see from the cover here, they're trying to do wild medical shit, and the business is trying to stop it, and it's just a zany, weird-ass, strange, could have only released wide in the year of our Lord 1990, fucking cool-ass horror movie that I feel like a lot of you horror fans would really dig if you checked it out. I really enjoyed it. And again, Bill Paxton, Bill Pullman, man, come the fuck on. This one's it's pretty good. 2016's The Boy. This is one I definitely see. They were like, put that piece of shit outside. Put it in January with the rest of them. It's been banished. But people watched it, including myself, and went, damn, that was pretty well done. I mean, for something we thought was going to be schlocky, corny, The Boy, I think probably sort of in the same vein as like Megan, right? When you hear Megan's going to come out and you see the picture on the poster, like, oh, another fucking doll movie. Great, cool, grand, wonderful. But then you see the trailer and she's like doing all that shit and you're laughing at it. You're like, all right, you got me again with the doll shit. 2021's Wrong Turn. Yeah, sue me. This is sort of a friend of the channel movie. Sure. We've had all these people on the show. The director, Mike Nelson, Halloween 4 writer Alan B. McElroy, and Damien Maffei. But you know what? I really enjoyed the movie. Thought it was really cool. Way to recalibrate and give a cool idea to, I'm not going to say Wrong Turn's a classic movie, to a revered sort of horror movie. People who expected the same Wrong Turn stuff, very disappointed, very angry, but I feel like it was good. We really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the new spin on it. I thought it was strange. I thought it was cool and I was different. And it's got the classic, maybe the line of 2021. I can smell your juices. Vagina dentata. Was that my table squeaked and I thought the Amazon guy opened my door while I screamed vagina dentata. But no, 2007's Teeth came out in January. This one was fucking wily, man. Her vagina has teeth and it eats people's dicks. That's a horror movie. If you haven't seen it and you didn't know that, then you're either going to watch it based on that or you're not. This one feels like a January release, but it still kicks ass. 2003's Final Destination 2 was also a January release. The movie that at this point is more of a Walmart thing to say because I feel like everybody says it now, kind of like, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? But every time you get behind a freaking semi-truck carrying those logs, this movie is the reason that you're afraid. Tales from the Crypt Demon Night with an amazing balls-deep performance from Billy Zane. The great Will Sadler's in it, and Jada Pinkett Smith's in there as well. I get this and Bordello of Blood confused. It's because they both streamline that whole Tales from the Crypt vibe. But yeah, what a cool time to be alive when you could go in 1995 to a movie theater in January and watch a wackadoo Tales from the Crypt rated R movie on the big screen. Only 2 more to go. This movie I just watched for the first time the other day and was blown away by how fun and cool it was. Deep Rising came out in 1998 in the month of January, directed by Stephen Sommers, who also directed the Brendan Fraser classic The Mummy. Same vibes here, action, horror mixed together. It's another total ripoff of Alien, sure. I don't know why we put all those in January, but we do. Here we are. But a lot of ghost ship vibes in this movie. Femke Jansen's awesome in this movie. The main dude in the movie is the only thing I didn't like, Treat Williams. He was going for a Bill Pullman, Spaceballs type character as the leader of the ship, but to me he was just loud and sort of corny. Felt like he should be on Law and Order or some shit. But apart from that, man, what a fun ride. It's this gigantic alien that's in this ship fucking eating people. It's like an octopus type creature when they go to this really dangerous area to do some shady shit with criminals, and there's wild explosions and jet skis and sea-doos and all sorts of shit. What a fucking ride this movie was, man. I totally recommend it. If you've never seen Deep Rising, check it out. And last, but absolutely not least, maybe possibly the greatest horror film that has ever come out in the month of January.
Everybody be cool. You be cool.
From Dusk Till Dawn. 1996, January brought us From Dusk Till Dawn, starring the coolest and best role of George Clooney's career, inarguable fucking arguable. If George Clooney would have stayed on this path, he could have been one of the biggest stars in the world. Oh yeah, he is one of the biggest stars in the world, but he could have been way fucking cooler to people like us. Yeah, man, Robert Rodriguez, written by Quentin Tarantino, starring Quentin Tarantino, and I think his best acting role, because he's a scary as shit fucking weirdo.
Did you mean what you said back there in the room?
Harvey Keitel, Juliette Lewis, dude, Dusk Till Dawn is a fucking banger. One of the greatest vampire movies of all time, one of the coolest horror films of all time. And that, my friend, is 20 cool horror movies that came out in January. What did I miss? I know I have others on my list that I'll rattle through super quick. Oh, I didn't get to 20, actually. I missed one. Paranormal Activity, the marked ones. That movie was, I thought that was a really good fucking Paranormal Activity movie. I thought it was underrated. A lot of poop came out in those months, sure, but Hide and Seek with Robert De Niro I thought was dope. Phantoms, Ben Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms, yo. Sam Raimi's The Gift was a January release. And some that I need to check out, like The Vanishing, Meet the Applegates, Popcorn, Screamers. I watched a little bit of that, was not a fan. And then just a lot of shit that you're like, yeah, that's where it should be in January. Love your all's fucking faces. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video today, and I hope you guys have an awesome fucking January. Halloween never ends, suck my fucking dick, and I don't really care what Blumhouse fucking says. Put him in a box, or suck a fucking cock. You can say he's dead, but we all know he's not, yeah. So let's go trick-or-treating, let's go fucking drinking. Let's all go rent Pumpkinhead on VHS, cause Halloween never ends.